So it took us about 5 races to get back to normalcy. Yeah, it's more like a normal cup race, seeing all the superstars in the top. Although I didn't really expect Martin Truex to be the one to win at Phoenix. He's the one high-profile driver that I didn't even mention. So sometime right before the end of stage 2, I assumed that 19 team did some adjustment, and then it instantly became the fastest car on the track, far faster than Joey Logano's car, Brad Keselowski's, or Denny Hamlin's. And then by the final stage, Truex didn't look back. He took command for most of the end of the race. And so recapping my lineups, much as I would like to start Logano or Hamlin, I didn't because I had them at 7 uses, and I felt that was too low to deploy them here at Phoenix. Now looking back on it, maybe Atlanta could have been the better spot to save them. Really chose a heck of a time to save Logano and Hamlin, and perhaps I've underestimated just how good those two have been on Phoenix. But that's okay. The rest of my drivers, they all got the next best points, starting with Brad Keselowski with that 48. Then you got Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney as some other drivers that got more than 40 points. Kurt Busch was a rather disappointing outing. His car never got any better. His car could never stay inside the top 10 and got relegated to a 15th place finish with no stage points. Suppose Waste Elliott can carry the honors this week of just being that random roster that gives me 240 points. So how exactly does this happen? So it doesn't have Logano, but does have Denny Hamlin, and the rest of the lineup having more than 35 points. So that's on a much better track compared to Jackuwarz 1. There's a few more bonus picks correct too, like Toyota and then Chase Elliott. Still though, I gotta say Byron is still burning most of my lineups. Not sure why I'm waiting so long just to play him, or if it's still not too late to keep playing him. Maybe Atlanta is still a good track for him to play at. And looking in the garage, big disappointment in Kyle Busch. He was struggling with the handling of his car throughout the second half of the race. Plus he also had a speeding penalty, trapped him a lap down, and really could never recover from that, plus a few spins here and there which sealed his fate with a finish outside the top 20. But that's okay. He did all that well before the end of stage 2. He gave me plenty of time to know, hey, you should probably garage me. Keeping me in your lineup is not ideal, so thanks Kyle. We go from the very best roster to the worst roster for this week. Pick Stenhouse, sub 190 points. Sorta obvious on what went wrong here. We got 2 drivers with below 30 points. Didn't have enough Penske drivers here, just Keselowski. Having all 3 would have been amazing. And then I used up my 3rd Kyle Larson play on a measly 32 point day. Only 1 bonus pick right, that just being the winning team. Good that I stashed that to fall back on, because the Kurt Busch picks really didn't do me that many favors. For no Chevy, the Ryan Newman play was a big wash. I thought maybe he can come to life in the final stage, but being trapped a lap down, that's very unlikely to happen. So as a result, I had to keep Kyle Busch, which would give me just a little under double the points that I would have gotten with Newman. Fortunately, Hamlin and Logano are in this lineup, so it's able to carry the crummy number of points Kyle Busch gave me here. Can't forget about Keselowski too, doing the same thing. And then we got Almarola, who after starting 32nd with little stage points was able to get him his best finish of the season and back on track for that playoff run. And then just 1 bonus pick right with Chase Elliott, which surprisingly gets the results here above 200. For Jackuwarz World Network, alright results. Finally, it's above 200 points day, thanks to the Penske drivers, of course. Unfortunately, didn't get the one with the most in Logano, but we did get him for the top Ford. And simply being over conservative with Hamlin and Logano for this week, it simply meant that I couldn't get, say, a 250 points day like most of my league rivals did. So with a total of 19 points and a 2nd place finish, Joey Logano easily had the most points from Phoenix at 54. Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex are tied at 2nd with 49 apiece. Brad Keselowski is 4th with 48. And rounding out the top 5 with most points is Ryan Blaney at 43. Starting on pole for Atlanta is Deddy Hamlin, a driver who's not quite on my radar for this week, but if last week in Las Vegas taught us anything, he's been on a roll with getting points, and it's safe to say that Hamlin could get a lot of points from Atlanta, given the pole position. Personally, I'm looking ahead at Richmond and Martinsville to deploy my next Hamlin starts, but somehow if you're behind on Hamlin uses, say you're at 8 remaining, then by all means go ahead and play them. Hamlin's teammate and last week's winner, Martin Truex Jr., is starting alongside him in 2nd. He has 6 straight top 10s here. In the 2020 race, he swept the first 2 stages and capped off a 54-point day with the 3rd place finish. Truex's season is taken off with that race win last week, and it's likely to continue here, as Atlanta is definitely one of Truex's better tracks. And when deploying your big plays, you should definitely start that off with Truex. Joey Logano is starting 3rd this week. Just like Denny Hamlin for here, he should get away with not playing Joey Logano this week. And I'll reserve my next Logano plays for Richmond and Martinsville 3 weeks from now. At best, he could be a worthy garage play. That is if you have 8 or more uses left with him. Any less than that, go for the save and wait after the Bristol Dirt Race. Brad Keselowski is starting 4th. Just like Truex, he too has a 6-race top 10 streak at Atlanta. To top all that, he has 2 race wins in the last 4 races. And if you're like me, being very slow with the Keselowski plays, and I'm just now getting to my 2nd play, then by all means, play him here at Atlanta. Same goes for 3 weeks later. Chase Elliott is in 5th. He has yet to win in his home track in 5 starts, and I see him getting a little closer every year to achieving that. Am I going to flat out predict that he'll win Atlanta? No. And just like Logano and Hamlin, I'm planning on saving my Elliott plays here in favor for Richmond or Martinsville. Kyle Larson is starting 6th. Back in the 2019 race, he earned 19 stage points, and in the 3 Atlanta stage era races. The amount of points Larson earns here are very much promising, and dare I say, at just about any use number, give Larson a consideration. Starting in 7th is by far the best driver at Atlanta, being Kevin Harvick. He won the race here last year, as well as the one in 2018, and has won half of the stages here. He also has his own 6-race streak of top 10s, and right up there with Keselowski and Truex, he should be an absolute start, no matter the amount of uses. Christopher Bell is in 8th, and one of my blind spot plays for the week. Could have said sleeper, but Bell's been more than consistent in recent weeks. Yeah, his only start here in Atlanta was an 18th place finish with no stage points, but considering Bell for this week, it's more based on his recent performances, which have been very good. He had a top 10 at Phoenix last week, and another one with a 7th place finish the week before at Las Vegas. In 9th is William Byron, and just about everything I said about Christopher Bell you can apply for Byron too. Sure, he is yet to finish inside the top 15, let alone earn a single stage point at Atlanta in his first 3 starts here, but take his recent results, and his speed shown in Homestead, another 1.5 mile track, and perhaps this is Byron's best opportunity to get his best finish at Atlanta. Ryan Blaney caps off the starting grid's top 10, and in last year's race he posted his first top 5 finish at Atlanta. Personally, I'd rather start Blaney at Martinsville. At best, possibly stash him in your garage, and then see maybe if he gives you double-digit stage points again, just like in his last 2 starts in Atlanta. Starting 11th is Kurt Busch, and he's my big blind spot play for the week. He has 5 straight top 10 finishes in Atlanta. I still very much remember the ground he gave me in the 2019 race, being he was very lowly owned that race. Yeah, he might have fell off last week at Phoenix, mired back in the top 15 with no stage points. For the Outlaw, this is one of his top 3 best tracks, and should give you results similar to the likes of Keselowski, Truex, and Harvick. Eric Almarola is starting 16th this time, far better than what he started at in 32nd last week. His numbers don't exactly jump out here at Atlanta, but if you're looking for a deep ball pick this week, this is absolutely the driver you'll want to try your hands at. At best, stash him in your garage and see what he gives you. At 19th, Kyle Busch is starting mid-pack, and with the 4th best average finish here in Atlanta in its last 3 races, he could brush himself off from the results from Phoenix and give you results similar to last year's race. Then again, with how rocky the start of Kyle Busch's season has been, stashing him in your garage might be the best play to make. Taking a look at my lineups, I'm deploying the Masters of Atlanta, that of Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, and Martin Truex Jr. I'll stash Christopher Bell in the garage. Honestly, you can do a little bit better than what I'm doing right now. Like, instead of him, have either Ryan Blaney or Kyle Busch. While he's still on a hot streak, I'll give him another chance. Brad Keselowski is my favorite to win this week, him or Kevin Harvick, which is where Waste Elliott will try the waters at with its bonus picks. Instead of Martin Truex and Christopher Bell, I have Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch here. Compared to Jackuwarz 1's lineup, I'll take my chances with the old school veteran drivers with top manufacturer picks, as they'll nurse the tires for the top finishes around this old worn out surface of Atlanta. So long as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. continues to have those good starting positions, the plays will keep on coming with him in Pig Stenhouse, but if he outperforms the rest of this lineup, we'll have yet to see. I'll have Joey Logano be the oddball winner. If I'm not going to have Logano in the starters, I'll have him in the bonus picks, the top Ford, winning manufacturer, and winning team. Same goes for Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin in their respective top manufacturer picks. For no Chevy, I'll have a blend of top picks and sleeper picks, including Matt DiBenedetto, which after Phoenix, I do owe it to myself to get get one more play with him. If Ford's not going to win at Atlanta, then definitely Chevrolet with Kyle Larson. Then for Jackuwarz World Network, there's William Byron in the garage instead of Christopher Bell over Jackuwarz 1. Besides that, all the starters are the same. I'll also borrow the idea of Keselowski winning across the board, but instead have Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch at the top manufacturer picks. And there you have it, those are my picks. I think the picks are a lot more straightforward compared to Phoenix, Homestead, and Las Vegas. So for that reason, I'm not going to save as much as I did last week. We're just going to cut right to the chase and pick the best drivers, regardless of uses. And then we'll save again for the week after that at the Bristol Dirt Race. So next Sunday's race at Atlanta is at noon Pacific time. And as always, thanks for watching, enjoy the race, catch you next time.